Imagine this. It's 2015. Todd Howard has called a meeting with senior staff at Bethesda.
Hello there.
There's a hushed silence in the room.
Shush.
As Todd announces he has a very novel idea. A game about space exploration without any space exploration. Everyone applauds. And that is how Starfield came to be. Starfield released in 2023. It feels like much longer ago. I know, right? You might say people had unrealistically high expectations for the game, and you're right. But Bethesda are the ones who set those expectations.
Over 100 systems, over 1,000 planets, our most ambitious game ever.
Have you attached Sean Murray to his nipples? No. I know a lot of people love this game, and I'm not here to try to convince anyone it's bad. Most of you probably already know how you feel about it. The game can be liked for what it is, and criticized for what it could have been. So let's jump in. I don't want this video to be hours long, so rather than go through the entire plot, I'm going to focus on one particular part because it really stood out to me. Near the end of Starfield, you're asked to side with either the hunter or the emissary. The hunter, who killed my wife, R.I.P. Sarah, comes across as a genocidal maniac, violent and uncaring, seeking only power and self-gain.
Why have one world when you can have all the settled systems?
The hunter is essentially asking what is the value of a human life if there are infinite universes. The hunter should have been the main character's mum. The emissary, on the other hand, is a cold realization that even the best result in attempting order is still plagued by the failures of human nature, using violence to achieve your goals.
You see the hypocrisy in what the emissary is saying, right?
It's set up as a moral dilemma. Ambition and free will versus restraint and responsibility. But the game doesn't let you explore these philosophies in depth. There are no meaningful dialogue trees about their motives or wider implications. They chance to explore the ethics of infinite universes. You just pick a side and move on, which makes what could have been one of the story's richest moments feel oddly thin. Do you want to side with a guy advocating for space genocide, Bramley? Yeah, sure. Sorry, what did you say? Call me fussy, but I think it's a bit of an oversight to not have a bit more narrative context about two characters pivotal to the story. Narratively speaking, from the main character's point of view, I feel like they might have one or two follow-up questions before making any decisions. Besides, anyone who's played the game knows the correct answer is actually option 3, shoot them both in the head because they've both gone completely insane. One is a complete sociopath, bored out of their mind from universe hopping, so decided to say let's be evil, and the other is bored and decided they would be in charge. It is frustratingly lackluster. Sorry, best we can do is meticulously textured food items. Then comes New Game Plus. The game asks, what kind of person will you be in the next universe? Literally the same person I was before, except my wife is dead, and her doppelganger isn't my wife. New Game Plus was just me, alone, surrounded by strangers who look like my friends. And you start over, a little bit in the past for reasons. With these characters, you no longer have any emotional attachment to. Why? What is the point? What feelings are you trying to elicit in me, Todd? Confusion. I feel like this is Starfield's storytelling in a microcosm. Flat, but with the potential to be something great. The bones of something amazing buried under mediocre dialogue. Do you enjoy loading screens? Good news! Want to visit a city? Enter a building? Sit down too quickly? So many load screens. And this is made worse when you realize a lot of the missions could have been accomplished with a space email. In essence, exploration is non-existent. You see that scientific research facility over there? The one you've come across on every single planet you visited? Yes. Do you know how we're going to get there? Are we going to very slowly meander over there having no fun on the way? We are. Travel is a chore. We were promised a space exploration adventure with 1,000 planets to explore. And while we got the planets, we got nothing else. It's a Bethesda game. I'm not expecting miracles. The combat is fine. It is what it is. Let's just accept that and move on. But for the love of God, all hail the Great Serpent. Give me aim assist on console. Actually, Bramley, it have aim assist. Does it? Do I just suck at first-person shooters? They should just use VATS. No. Starfield is an American universe. Built for Americans with surface-level diversity. And I get it. Bethesda are an American company. But the Fallout series was immersive because it was very satirically American. And more importantly, set in America. Oblivion worked because it was set in a magical fantasy land, so anything goes. But Starfield's future doesn't make sense. Narratively, the survivors say, we all came together.
That's what she said!
Maybe they just don't mention the ones that weren't invited. Bethesda set up as a future of humanity where Earth has been abandoned and people live across several systems, yet most as the leading factions, names, accents feel very North American. There are a few outliers, but the cultural spread doesn't really reflect a planet's worth of refugees starting fresh among the stars. That doesn't break the game moment to moment, but if you zoom out, this setting can feel like an American frontier skin over what should be a much weirder, more globally mixed society. So, was the game a success? If you define success in purely monetary terms, yes, absolutely, yeah. It made hundreds of millions. But if success is judged by a different criteria, perhaps by player feedback, it paints a different picture. It's currently sitting at mixed reviews on Steam, and since release, it's received a few updates, city maps, land vehicles, minor tweaks, DLC, core issues like shallow exploration and loading screens remain untouched. A Reddit poll showed 86% of players use mods. Now, to be clear, mods aren't bad. In fact, they're great. They can add so much to a game. But if nearly everyone is fixing or flavoring the game themselves, that says something about the vanilla experience. There are a few things I would like to quickly touch on. Base building feels like an afterthought. Inventory management, oh my god. The temple puzzles, they are terrible. Whose idea was this? So, how do you fix it? I'm not sure it needs fixing. Romance Vasco? What? Romance Vasco, the robot? Yes. I wish Bethesda had put their energy into another Fallout game, like Fallout 76. Let's talk about Fallout 76. No, Bramley, no, let's not upset Starfield and Fallout fans in the same video. Also, that nightclub, what is this? This feels like a very odd analysis. Every bit of praise for the game, and every criticism, comes with caveats. The writing is a bit dull, but some side quests are incredible, entangled. The game looks beautiful, but the assets feel a bit cut and paste. There are hundreds of planets, but nothing worth exploring. I don't hate Starfield because it's bad. I hate it because it could have been spectacular, and somehow ended up smaller than the sum of its parts. I just find it disappointing, and maybe that's my fault for judging the game based on what I thought it would be rather than what it is. I think I love the idea of Starfield, but it just falls short so many times. It's very pretty though. Some people will play this game and they will love it, and that is fine. Some people will play this game and they will hate it, and that is also fine. And some people will fill their ship with succulents, and that is also fine. Thanks for watching. I love you all. But not as much as I love Sarah Morgan. R.I.P. Sarah. Bye! I kinda wanna play Starfield again. Yeah, me too.
Blah, 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 blah.